Is India really ruining their relationship with the Middle East? Well, that might be the case. The Arab world might be furious with India for standing with Israel, but the fact is these two countries have been strong allies for decades. In this video, we'll be looking at how India is secretly running the Israel Hamas war and the outcome so far. Stay tuned, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. All right, let's dive into this. India's consistent support for Israel has strong historical and strategic foundations, resulting from a partnership that has grown greatly over time. Despite India's initial reservations, owing particularly to its ties with the Arab world and its huge Muslim population, the relationship took a decisive turn in the early 1990s. The demise of the Soviet Union, as well as the Oslo peace agreements, provided India the political cover to improve its relations with Israel. This shift was not solely diplomatic. It was motivated by India's desire for a dependable arms supplier and technological partner. Israel has shown to be a vital ally over time, most notably during the 1999 Kargil War, when it was one of the few nations to provide critical military support to India. This show of solidarity was not forgotten in New Delhi, as India returned the favor. Under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership, India-Israel's strategic partnership has grown even stronger. During Modi's term, there has been a greater public embrace of Israel, reflecting a pragmatic foreign policy stance that balances India's historical support for Palestine with its growing connections with Israel. This balancing act is critical as India navigates complicated geopolitical terrain, including its relationships with Arab countries and participation in international institutions such as the United Nations. Despite local and international challenges, India has maintained and even strengthened its defense relations with Israel. This is obvious in the covert delivery of military weapons to Israel during the continuing struggle with Hamas, which is viewed as a token of gratitude for previous assistance. Such acts, however contentious, highlight India's strategic interests and devotion to its partners, demonstrating a forceful yet nuanced foreign policy. Military support and technology transfer. The massive provision of modern military technology from India to Israel is vital to the covert operations between the two countries. A good example of this is India's provision of drones and weapons to the Israeli Defense Forces, IDF. Among these technologies, the Hermes 900 drones stand out for their important role in surveillance and combat operations. These drones, noted for their sophisticated capabilities, are not only supplied, but also manufactured through a strategic relationship. The detention of the cargo vessel Mariandanica along the Spanish coast uncovered a significant stash of 27 tons of armaments bound for Israel, demonstrating the scope and intensity of this support. This package contained sophisticated rockets and explosives critical to Israel's military endeavors, and it had taken a lengthy and secret path to avoid detection and ensure its safe arrival. The Mariandanica's voyage is a story of strategy and secrecy. The ship, loaded with valuable cargo, left southeastern India and carefully circumnavigated Africa to avoid potential hazards in the Red Sea, including continuous Houthi strikes. The secrecy was important, with explicit instructions that no one engaged in the shipment should acknowledge Israel or its defense contractor, Elbit Systems subsidiary, IMI Systems. This degree of covert operation demonstrates India's engagement and determination to supporting Israel throughout the Gaza crisis. Another important aspect of this collaboration is the partnership between Elbit Systems in Israel and Adnai Group in India. They established a joint venture in Hyderabad to manufacture the Hermes 900 drones. These drones are not just duplicates. They have been customized to match the IDF's specific needs and requirements, guaranteeing that they are well suited to the region's operating demands. The production plant in Hyderabad represents the combination of Israeli invention and Indian industrial prowess, resulting in a tremendous synergy that benefits both countries. This cooperative enterprise demonstrates how the two countries have progressed beyond simple supplier-client partnerships to actual partners in defense technology development. The manufacturing process in Hyderabad exemplifies the two countries' close cooperation. Indian engineers and technicians collaborate with their Israeli colleagues to learn and integrate innovative technologies. This relationship has enabled the Hermes 900 drones to be customized, ensuring that they work optimally in the diverse and frequently tough conditions in which the IDF operates. The ability to develop and manufacture such advanced technology domestically also gives India a geopolitical advantage, increasing its own defense capabilities while assisting a crucial partner. In addition to drones, weapons delivery has been a major area of help. India has given a variety of modern weaponry that are critical to Israel's defense strategy. Precision-guided missiles and artillery shells have been critical to the IDF's efforts to maintain its military advantage. The delivery of such armaments has been meticulously planned, frequently involving complicated logistics, to ensure that these supplies arrive uninterrupted. The precise planning and execution of these shipments demonstrate the high degree of collaboration and confidence between the two countries. The geopolitical consequences of these activities are significant. India's readiness to strongly support Israel, despite probable criticism from its own populace and other countries, represents a fundamental shift in its foreign policy. This help is not simply a return for previous assistance during the Kargil War, but rather a strategic relationship that both countries see as mutually beneficial. India's actions also highlight its stance against groups such as Hamas, which it condemns for terrorist operations, bringing it closer to Israel's security worries. In essence, India's military assistance and technology transfer to Israel indicate a strengthening of their strategic cooperation. This partnership, founded on mutual needs and historical ties, has grown into a strong alliance in which both countries benefit from shared technologies and defense capabilities. The covert nature of these operations, as well as the sophisticated joint ventures, highlight the partnership's complexity and significance in today's geopolitical scene. Historical context of India-Israel military cooperation. In the late 1990s, the Kargil War between India and Pakistan was a watershed point in India-Israeli military collaboration. At a critical point in the fight, India found itself in desperate need of superior military equipment and technology to counter Pakistani soldiers' entrenched positions in the rocky Kargil region. During this critical era, Israel emerged as an invaluable ally, giving key help that had a substantial impact on the outcome of the war. Israel provided weapons, surveillance technologies, mortar ammunition, and laser-guided missiles, which were critical to India's strategic operations. Israel's provision of monitoring technologies was especially remarkable. The superior reconnaissance technology supplied by Israel enabled Indian forces to correctly identify and target enemy positions, giving them a considerable tactical advantage. Another key component of Israel's cooperation was the use of laser-guided missiles, which allowed for pinpoint strikes against hardened enemy bunkers, drastically decreasing losses and the time required to retake strategic areas. Israel's mortar ammo also proved useful in the heavy artillery exchanges that characterized much of the fight. This comprehensive support from Israel was critical to India's successful operations during the Kargil War, demonstrating the extent of military collaboration between the two countries. Israel's support during the Kargil War had far-reaching consequences beyond its immediate military triumphs. This important help laid the groundwork for a stronger bilateral relationship between India and Israel, resulting in mutual respect and strategic cooperation. Following the Kargil War, there was a significant rise in high-level visits and diplomatic contacts between the two nations, demonstrating improved collaboration and common interests. These visits frequently included conversations about future military partnerships, intelligence sharing, and collaborative development projects, highlighting the growing significance of the India-Israel alliance. One of the significant effects of improved India-Israel relations was the formation of several strategic partnerships in defense technology and security. These collaborations enabled the combined research and manufacturing of new military equipment, guaranteeing that both countries benefited from shared technological advances. The relationship expanded to include missile defense systems, cybersecurity, and counterterrorism measures, thereby improving both countries' security capacities. The strategic partnership also featured frequent joint military exercises, which allowed the armed forces of both countries to learn from one another and improve their operational preparedness. The historical background of India-Israeli military cooperation emphasizes the partnership's broader geopolitical ramifications. By associating more closely with Israel, India marked a shift in its foreign policy, indicating a more pragmatic and interest-driven approach. This move was marked by a willingness to cooperate openly with Israel, despite potential objections from other countries and domestic political concerns. The Kargil War thus marked the start of a new era in India-Israel ties, defined by more transparency and collaboration on defense and security issues. Furthermore, the success of the Kargil War cooperation paved the way for future military collaborations between India and Israel. The confidence and reliability built throughout the war provided the path for increasingly comprehensive and ambitious cooperative endeavors, such as the development of cutting-edge defense technologies. In essence, the Kargil War was a watershed incident that shaped the course of India-Israel relations. Israel's vital help throughout this crisis highlighted the possibility of deep and meaningful cooperation between the two countries. This historical context emphasizes the necessity of India-Israel defense and security cooperation, as well as the long-term benefits of their strategic alliance. Diplomatic maneuvering. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has always been clear about his position on Israel. Modi has made it clear since taking office that he sees Israel as an important ally in the battle against terrorism. He has openly opposed terrorist operations, underlining nations' right to defend themselves from such threats. Modi's support for Israel has been steadfast, and he has not hesitated to publicly voice his allegiance with the Israeli government. On the international stage, India has been a strategic supporter of Israel through diplomatic channels. Under Modi's leadership, India has actively sought to reject or minimize anti-Israel resolutions at a variety of international venues, including the Non-Aligned Movement, NAM, and BRICS. These attempts have frequently involved behind-the-scenes conversations and diplomatic maneuvers aimed at reaching an agreement or at least mitigating the impact of choices that could hurt Israel's interests. Modi's government has been especially careful to ensure that the wording used in resolutions and speeches does not unfairly attack Israel or undermine its security concerns. India's diplomatic support for Israel goes beyond simply opposing unpleasant outcomes. The Modi administration has also attempted to promote a more nuanced perspective of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict in international venues. India has attempted to change the narrative by underlining the intricacies of the situation and the need for a balanced approach. This has included arguing for Israel's right to self-defense, while also calling for a peaceful conclusion to the conflict. Through these efforts, India has established itself as a major participant in the international arena, capable of influencing results in ways that benefit its strategic ally, Israel. India's balanced approach. India has long advocated for a peaceful and negotiated conclusion to the Israel-Palestine conflict. Despite its close ties with Israel, India has continuously advocated for the establishment of a Palestinian state, arguing for a two-state solution in which Israel and Palestine may coexist peacefully. This balanced stance reflects India's long-standing commitment to international law, as well as its determination to put an end to the protracted conflict that has caused great suffering on both sides. India hopes to contribute positively to regional stability and peace by promoting discussion and negotiation. At the same time, India has successfully maintained a strategic relationship with Israel, managing domestic and external challenges. Domestically, the Indian government must take into account the opinions of its sizable Muslim minority, as well as the general public, which frequently sympathizes with the Palestinian cause. Israel is privileged to have such a friend like India backing them. This has gone a long way to help Israel defeat Hamas. Do you support India's military assistance? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Like and subscribe for more interesting military videos.